Presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Black Fork. We are South.
Our opening road trip continues in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as does Major League Baseball's opening week. There will be a big crowd here at beautiful PNC Park as the Braves try to pick up their second win here in 2017 as we get our first look at Clint Hurdle and his Pittsburgh Pirates on an absolutely frigid day for baseball here at the Confluence. Merry Christmas, everybody. Chip and Joe, welcome to PNC Park, where the weatherman greeted us with snow flurries this morning. The skies are clearing, better weather the rest of the weekend, and hopefully some heat from Mike Foltynewicz, who gets the ball for the first time in rotation for the Braves today.
Well, as we know, the rotation has been flip-flop. R.A. Dickey was originally scheduled to pitch today, but instead it is Mike Foltynewicz. And I think this is a huge advantage for Mike pitching on this really frigid day. Cold hands for the hitters, uncomfortable at bats for the hitters, because Mike, as you know, can bring it. He is upwards of 95 to 98. You see some of his work over his last 5 road starts last year. Excellent work once he came off the disabled list. And one of the things we noticed about Mike in spring training, he's beginning to pitch more. He's more in the 91 to 92 range. And then when he needs to get a little extra, he certainly can go to 97 or 98. I look for big things from him today.
Braves got to town about 4 o'clock in the morning today. Mike Foltynewicz flew ahead of the team, so he should be well rested to take on Ivan Nova and the Pittsburgh Pirates in Game 1 from PNC next. The weatherman has done Pittsburgh and the Braves no favors. The Pirates opened in Boston. Believe it or not, the Braves, of course, started their year in New York against the Mets, and after some snow flurries this morning, it's warmed all the way up to 35 degrees here at first pitch. Feels like 23 degrees with that east-southeast wind at 15 miles an hour. The weather is going to improve as the weekend goes along. We should be up in the 60s before we leave town here on Sunday afternoon. Andrew McCutchen, the superstar for the Pittsburgh Pirates, is now their right fielder. That is a different look for what has always been a terrific Pittsburgh defensive alignment. Their outfield of McCutchen, Marte, and Gregory Polanco, brought to you by Honda Lawn and Garden. David Freese, the most appropriately named player in Major League Baseball today, is at third base, with Jordy Mercer, Josh Harrison, Josh Bell, the first baseman Joe mentioned, and Francisco Cervelli is their catcher for Ivan Nova today. Clint Hurdle is the manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Joe, and he has really stabilized the ship, and he's taken the Pirates to places they hadn't gone in a long, long time. That is, of course, the playoffs, albeit one-game wild-card playoffs, but they've gotten there nonetheless.
They have indeed. Their organization's much better shape than it was just 4 or 5 years ago. There are the numbers for Clint Hurdle and his record, a winning record, and his 15th overall season as a manager. Remember, he also took the Colorado Rockies to the World Series, first time and only time they've ever been there. For the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight, or this afternoon, a guy who's really turned it around with the Pirates, and that's Ivan Nova, 30 years old, 6'5", 240. These are his numbers with the Pirates last year after they acquired him from the New York Yankees, where he did not pitch anywhere close to this type of baseball. Look at that. 3 walks, 52 strikeouts, and in 11 starts he had 3 complete games for these guys, and they said he carried it right on into spring training. He's throwing strikes, he works quickly, and a real good pickup for them last year.
And the Braves lineup brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. No changes or surprises for Brian Snitker. Ender Inciarte leads off, Dansby Swanson second, Freddie Freeman third. Matt Kemp had an historic series against the Mets. We'll talk about that in a little while. With Nick Markakis fifth, Brandon Phillips sixth, Garcia, Kurt Suzuki with the start, and of course Mike Foltynewicz will be the Atlanta starter. As we've mentioned a couple of times, weather will be a big story today. This is not going to be a fun day for the hitters to get something off the end of the bat. And from a travel standpoint, the Braves had all kinds of travel issues in New York and getting into Pittsburgh. We arrived to the team hotel around 4 o'clock this morning. And we want to tip our cap to our terrific crew who actually didn't go to sleep last night. They came straight to the ballpark to get the truck ready for our telecast today. So Brian Woodrum, Mike Miller, Drew Jenkins, Gretchen Caney, job very well done to get us on the air today.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. And we're thinking about you all day long because it's been a real battle for them, and proud of them.
So a little bit of snow flurries falling as we get set for the first pitch. And underneath all that warm gear is somewhere Ender Inciarte, the Braves leadoff man. Ender won for his first 13 to start the year. And that has been the calling card for Nova in a Pirate uniform.
Strike throwing machine. He'll stay somewhere in the low 90s with his fastball, curveball, slider, change. And again, he works fast.
A bunt try, and just like that, Inciarte's down 0-2.
I don't think it came as any big surprise in New York against those 3 pitchers that the Braves racked up a ton of strikeouts. But the surprising part was where they came from. Both Ender and Dansby Swanson at the top of the order struck out 4 times each in 3 games.
And Nick Markakis has struck out 8 times already for Atlanta. So let's see if they can make a little more contact against the Buccos. 1 ball, 2 strikes from Ivan Nova. That almost hit the Braves leadoff man. And the count evens up 2-2. Official first pitch temperature, I believe they said, was 37 degrees.
Oh, it's skyrocketing.
Yeah. And luckily for the fans in the bowl, the wind's blowing out. If that wind was blowing off the river, boy, it'd be oppressively cold. Pitch. And stroked into left field, and Inciarte with a leadoff single.
Great way for him to start the series. Only 1 hit in New York, already 1 here. You can see he's trying to figure out a way to stay warm. These hitters know Nova will be around the plate as many strikes as he throws, so just a matter of when you do get a good pitch to hit, making the best of it.
So Dansby's the batter. He's 2 for 14 on the year.
Danced off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Ender has a pretty good lead over at first.
Von Nova's track while he was with the Yankees had one interruption. When he was in the minor leagues on a AAA roster, he got taken in the Rule 5 draft by the Padres and didn't make their team. They sent him back to the Yankees. So all he's done since then is go 58-41 in the big leagues.
Ball, no strikes. Mile high fly ball. Polanco and Mercer. And it's Polanco that makes the play as Dansby pops out for the first out this afternoon. They have a terrific outfield, even with McCutchen moving from center to right field. Polanco had 10 assists last year. Marte had 17 of them. And a Gold Glover. And McCutchen still an elite player too.
You know, I was just thinking they could shuffle the deck every day with their 3 outfielders, and they could all adapt to wherever you put them. They're all so good.
That's something you said last year. You really liked this Pirate trio.
There's no defensive outfield better than these guys as a unit.
Freddie Freeman, the batter, shift on for Pittsburgh. Freddie's got the whole left side of the infield to play with, and he took a shot that way and fouled it off. On a warm day, you would think this would be a ballpark that would be tailor-made for Freddie Freeman's swing. A very short porch in right field. It's 320 feet down the right field line with a 21-foot high wall. That is a very cozy target for a left-hand hitter.
SunTrust Park is somewhat similar to it. It's a shorter wall, 16 feet high at the Braves' new home, 325 down the line.
Two balls and a strike from Nova. And Freeman didn't get it. Is it just me, or are the Braves swinging through a lot of fastballs early on?
Well, they did in New York, and I kind of attributed that to the gas that Syndergaard, DeGrom, and Harvey were throwing, that they were not able to catch up. This guy doesn't throw as hard as those people.
Freddie spoiled that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nova said one of the reasons he had trouble gaining traction as a Yankee was he was in the rotation, he was out of the rotation. He's a guy that says, I like to know when I'm going to pitch. So he knows he's going to be a starting pitcher for Pittsburgh. Joe mentioned the great numbers he had as a Pirate. Ray Searage, the Pittsburgh pitching coach, gets a lot of credit for helping turn Nova's fortunes around last year. Swing and a miss by Freeman on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. So after the Inciarte leadoff single, 2 are out, and Matt Kemp is coming up. He is the hottest hitter on the planet right now.
And off a guy who pitched a really good ball game, Matt Harvey, launched one into the seats in left center, and then somehow got the barrel of that fastball in on his hands and hit it off the face of the second deck. 4 doubles, 2 homers in the series.
And all that production is a noteworthy stat. He's the only Brave to start the year with 6 extra base hits in the season's first 3 games. That's our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot.
And that dates back to 1913. So nice start.
Something you'll see a lot from the Pirates in this series is exactly what you've seen with Freddie Freeman and Matt Kemp in the batter's box. They shift as much, if not more, than any team in our league. Sometimes shift from pitch to pitch, not just hitter to hitter. Two balls, no strikes. And a mile-high fly ball center. Marte going back to the edge of the track. Kemp just missed. The wind got a hold of that and carried it another 6 or 8 feet toward the center field fence. Here comes Fulte in the home first. Turf, no score after a half inning. And this kind of weather shouldn't bother a man from Minooka, Illinois. Mike Fultonevich gets the ball for the first time today.
Boy, he was lights out his last 9 starts overall. A 5-0 record, a sub-4 ERA. Again, ton of run support, but that 3.88 ERA tells you how well he was pitching. His 4 keys to pitching success today. We have seen evidence of it. He is beginning to pitch more and not throw. He is pitching, dropping his velocity down a little bit, going to 98 when he needs it, and control. That's not control of his pitches, that's control of his emotions. He had one of his biggest meltdowns all last year in this ballpark. He's got to be able to tolerate a hit or two.
And he's got to keep this guy under control. That guy is Starling Marte, who can really fly. You don't want to put him on with a walk. And his first pitch of the day is a called strike. Slider had some snap to it, and it's 0-2. Marte hit .311 last year, stole 47 bases, and he just struck out on 3 pitches. And Fultonevich, look at him commanding the area behind the mound. Nice walk. Can't start your year better than that. A 3-pitch strikeout. And Toyota presents the Pittsburgh Pirates starting lineup. They're 0-2 on the year. Here's Josh Bell, their young first baseman. McCutchen third, Polanco, Freese, Cervelli, Harrison, Mercer at short. Nova pitches and hits ninth.
45 games last year for the Pirates, 3 homers, 19 RBIs. They think he's tailor-made for this right field fence.
Bell, one of 4 rookies on the Pirates roster. 1 for 7 on the year. Anthony's a strike, says Mark Ripperger, home plate umpire. Mike is loose.
Well, again, a decided advantage for the pitchers today on a cold day, and he's not messing around with any off-speed stuff. He is firing BBs.
Back-to-back 97-mile-an-hour fastballs, and now the count is 2-2. McCutchen next. No score. Home first. Late swing. That couldn't have felt good.
No. Get the bat out there in time. I wasn't aware that Fulte came ahead of the team yesterday. As it turned out, great plan there.
Taken just low. And now Bell has a full count. Another one right in on the hands.
This is great. Don't speed up his bat by throwing a slider or a changeup. He hasn't gotten around on a fastball yet. What was that line from Major League? Give him the heater, Ricky.
Little better cut that time, but still a full count. Bell's exactly the kind of player the Pirates need to have. We all know the market size in Pittsburgh. We know against whom they compete in the Central. It's going to be tough for them to go toe-to-toe with the Cubs and Cardinals in free agency. So a player as good as Bell coming through their system is welcome. Skied toward left. The wind's going to push that out toward Matt Kemp, who backpedals. And there's the second out in the bottom of the first inning. Let's look at the Braves defense, brought to you by Honda Lawn and Garden. Kemp, Inciarte, and Markakis. The big field here is in left and left center. Garcia, Swanson, Phillips, and Freeman around the horn. Kurt Suzuki with the start behind the plate today. 2 up, 2 down for Fulte, and now Andrew McCutchen is the batter for Pittsburgh. There are some who are surprised he is still a Pirate. And he jumps all over the first pitch. He was looking fastball and hit it a mile foul. There's a story in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette a couple of weeks ago where McCutchen talked about his offseason. He was out with his family and his phone started buzzing, and he'd heard rumors that he was on his way to the Nationals. That obviously hasn't happened. Line and a base hit, his first hit of the year.
Well, there was a lot said and written about him moving to right field too. And paraphrasing him, he said, "I wasn't asked."
Right.
So he's made the move without too much fanfare after being a Gold Glove winner himself in center field.
And I guess to a certain extent you could understand the dilemma for the Pirates. Andrew's 30 years old. Was last year, which was statistically his worst year in the big leagues, the start of a decline, or was it just an off season? And can they afford to make a mistake in bringing back a player that could be going the wrong way statistically? Popped up. Suzuki with a lot of foul ground to play with, gives chase, won't have a play. Strike one. And that's the great unknown for McCutchen and the Pittsburgh Pirates. But still a great player.
Yes, he is. These fans love him. Speaking of them, I'm really impressed. These are great fans here in Pittsburgh, and they've turned out in big numbers today on a horrible day for baseball.
Gregory Polanco didn't get that, and Mike's ahead of him quickly, 0-2. Suzuki a nice stop, and Polanco now with a 1-2 count. Interesting that the Pirates have Polanco batting cleanup. There was a big statistical difference depending on where he hit last year. 298 in the number 3 hole. 203 is the cleanup hitter. He's hitting 4th today. Pitch. Struck to left. It's going to hang up for Kemp. And Fultonevich is out of the first inning. No runs, a hit, a man left. We head to the second in Pittsburgh. To PNC Park in Pittsburgh as we continue our road to SunTrust Park, presented by Chevrolet. Chip and Joe with you from Pittsburgh. Great to have Kelsey Wingert and our Fox Sports crew along for the ride as well from beautiful PNC Park. On a cold day, we're through our first inning with no score. Hoodies, parkas, gloves, hats, you name it. The Braves have got it, trying to stay warm.
Especially when you're out on the field and that wind's blowing straight in your face.
And this park will always be a very special one for Brian Snitker. You might recall he became the Braves manager here in Pittsburgh in mid-May last year. 9-28 at the time of Freddie Gonzalez's dismissal. And a liner to Mercer, nearly mistimed his jump. Markakis hit it on the button, but is retired on the first pitch.
A good sign for Nick. He had a triple in New York, scored a key run, but otherwise he had a rough series.
Brandon Phillips ought to know this park extremely well. All those years he played with the Reds, they would make 3 trips to PNC. Let's see how he does today. Brandon's 2 for 11 at the plate so far. Ooh. Smelly a little surprised that wasn't a strike.
So was I.
This one on the ground is short. Mercer, a very sure-handed shortstop. And there's the second out. Mercer made only 9 errors for the Pirates. 3rd highest fielding percentage in the league.
Yeah, 146 games. David Freese also at third base. Didn't play in as many games at third, but only 8 errors. So real solid defense on the left side.
Adonis Garcia 2 for 10. He's knocked in a run. Danced down and away.
Among the guys that played in all 3 games in New York, Adonis is the only guy that didn't strike out. He hit the ball hard, and he hit the ball hard to all fields. That hurt.
I would have to think the first week is the biggest challenge for a major league hitter. You mentioned in New York, you start in Arizona, you're in Florida, the weather's warm, you're feeling good, and then because you have to, you head to the cold climates and try to get in a rhythm, try not to get hurt, and try to stay loose. Oh yeah, while trying to hit 97-mile-an-hour fastballs. Don't know how they do it. That one's well hit to center. Marte retreats and hauls it in. 1-2-3 for Nova in the second. David Freese leads off for Pittsburgh, still scoreless.
Second inning, and as you know by now, it is cold here. Still snowing at about 38 degrees and some winds. I was talking to Matt Kemp about how you prepare to play in weather like this, and he told me, honestly, I don't think in my entire career I've ever played in weather this cold, because as you can recall, he was out on the West Coast. By the time they got to the East Coast, he said the weather was fine. He said he doesn't know how he's going to deal with it, but he's just going to have to deal with it. And I said, what are you most concerned about? And he said, really just defense, standing out in the outfield and being cold. So Chip and Joe, stay warm up there for me, because it is chilly down here.
Well, you're already a veteran, Kelsey, and you're off to a better start than Paul Bird, who didn't wear his jacket the other day in New York. Can you believe that? Bless his heart. Stay warm as well as David Freese bounces one foul at third base.
And Matt's right about standing around, and that's what I talked about in New York. And with that wind hitting them in the face today, everybody's got their hand in their pocket or they've got their hoodie on. You've got to keep moving. You can't just stand still. Good breaking ball.
So everybody in the ballpark, as Pirate fans, they will be right to say, shiver me timbers.
Yeah, they will.
1-2.
Oh.
Mike asked for an appeal, didn't get it. 2-2. David Freese, 33 years young. He signed through the 2019 season for Pittsburgh.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that slider.
That pitch popped up. Brandon Phillips drifts out, says he's got it. He does. There's the first out. Talked a couple of times about the Pirates' year last year. So disappointing in so many ways after they kept getting to the playoffs and playing in the one-game shootout wild card game. Last year, Pittsburgh slumped to 78 wins. Didn't make the playoffs for the first time since 2012. 2 bad months really sank them. They were 9-19 in June, 11-17 in September. They did not have a single player with 90 or more RBIs on this club, and 2 offensive players in particular projected to have big years. Andrew McCutchen and the man in the batter's box, Francisco Cervelli, didn't.
Yeah, September really didn't matter because they were already out of it.
Right.
And they were 5 games under 500, but finished 25 out behind the Cubs because of the year they had. Any bad month, particularly June, you're sunk because the Cubs are just going to keep rolling.
And in fairness to Cervelli, he was hurt. He had the hook of the hamate surgery. And in August, when the Pirates came to Atlanta, remember that was the series when Clint Hurdle sat out Andrew McCutchen, just gave him a total break.
Yeah.
Well, Cervelli was hit by a pitch in the helmet at Turner Field. So it was a rough year for the Pittsburgh catcher.
He's a good player. I know there were a lot of teams hoping he would become a free agent up until the time the Pirates signed him to a multi-year deal, I believe last spring. Maybe 2 years ago now, but a well-liked receiver.
Line to right, and Nick is there. Like the fact that Mike is getting contact, not trying to strike everybody out. 2 outs. Here's the second baseman, Josh Harrison. Harrison hit .283 last year, played 131 games. He was an all-star back in 2014.
Holtby's not missing by much, if he's missing. And did that thing take off and right up and in on Harrison.
Yeah, he has another year. That ball's well hit toward left. Kemp on the run, not going to get it. That's going to bounce off the warning track for a ground rule double for Harrison with 2 outs.
This is what I meant by speeding a guy's bat up and throwing a breaking pitch. I think it was a slider. He was fooled. He was already gearing up for the fastball, but because his bat was already out there, that means it's kind of sped up. So it's out there and it connects even though the pitch was breaking down and away from him. He got good wood on it.
So here's Mercer. He's the 8th place hitter. The pitcher Ivan Novo waits on deck. Mercer drove in 59 runs last year. Already has an RBI this season. That was almost a button buster.
Yeah, a day like today, you'd like to have a flak jacket on of some kind.
1 ball, 1 strike. To right. Markakis has to retreat. And he's there to retire the side. Harrison doubles with 2 out. Nothing comes of that. And we're off to the 3rd. We got a tweet of the week. This week's question is, what's the coldest sporting event you've ever attended? Tweet us your answer using hashtag #FanInTheCold, and your tweet could be used in the Braves live post-game show.
I personally remember opening day at Milwaukee County Stadium when I was with the Royals, and we wore those powder blue uniforms in those days, and it was snowing so hard that I couldn't see Amos Otis in center field from the dugout.
That's cold.
In a powder blue uniform, I couldn't see him because it was snowing so hard.
Well, I think it was 40 years ago today that Exhibition Stadium opened for the Toronto Blue Jays, and they played in the snow.
Yes, they did.
For their very first game. Didn't have Sky Dome or the Rogers Center now. They had to play outside right along the lake. That had to be a lot of fun. As Kurt Suzuki leads off. Kurt was 1 for 4 in his Braves debut against the Mets. And a first pitch swing popped up. And Freeze behind the bag, staggers a bit, and makes the play for the first out. 7 straight retired by Nova after Enciarte's leadoff hit.
There's another game in Kansas City when the fountains were all around out there, and I couldn't figure out what was hitting my cap, like tapping on my cap, and it was between innings from the spray of the fountains. It was freezing in the air, and it was like sleet hitting the bill of my cap. That's cold, baby.
That's rough. That is rough. Mike Foltynewicz with the bases empty. My first game with the Cubs after my grandfather passed away was at home at Wrigley Field. We played the Expos. 31 degrees and sleeting on opening day. Icicles about 8 inches long were off the fronts of the dugout. And
Javier, wind blowing in.
Wind was blowing straight in. Of course, you had to have the windows open.
Sure.
But Javier Vasquez was pitching for Montreal. And again, I don't know how anybody got a hit. That was as cold as I'd ever been in a ballpark.
Mike had full 5 hits last year, including a double, drove in a run.
He's making Nova work here. Nothing wrong with that. Full count.
Ripperger's got a really tight zone today. Nova made a good pitch to Mike to start this at bat and didn't get the call.
Good job, Mike. Hang in there.
Unless that hit him in the foot. I hope it didn't. Oh no, he was way too far away from the baseball for that to happen. Him come up and taking a bite out of his leg.
There's strike 3. Mike will be happy to get a few of those himself when he's on the mound.
No kidding.
So that's 8 in a row. And here's Ender, who singled to left his first time up.
I did see a local when I was coming in the ballpark standing at the ticket window in shorts.
Really?
Yes.
Obviously a member of the Jurinovich family. Bunt try, but too hard, and Bell's going to win the race to the bag, and that will retire the side. 3 up, 3 down in the Atlanta third. The Pirate pitcher Ivan Nova leads off. MLB.com at bat mobile app. Stay connected to the game's best players all year long with Game Day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. It's your #1 app for live baseball. There's one of those, shall we say, more liberal strike calls. This one to Ivan Nova, the Pirate pitcher. He puts it in play and lifts a fly ball to right. Nick Markakis and Ender Inciarte were looking at each other, and then Nick called it in for the first out.
A lot of fly ball outs.
Mike's retired 5 Pirates hitters on flyouts. Nova's gotten 3 Braves. Got 6. Here we count.
Got 1 to second base.
Yep. I was saying to the outfield. Though.
I got you.
Here's Marte. He struck out swinging. Struck out on 3 pitches. Marte got a nice honor today. They handed him his Gold Glove. And Andy Van Slyke, great Pirate outfielders, was on hand to present that. And there's one of those button busters. A fastball grazed Marte, and he's hit by a pitch and heads to first with 1 out.
Yeah, hopefully for Marte's sake, it just was the jersey. 47 stolen bases last year. Let me have gotten some ribs. 47 swipes, 12 cuts, stealing.
Mike hit 6 batters last year. Take his first this year. There's Bell flying to left. Bell had quite a debut with the Pirates. First at bat, first big league hit against Jake Arrieta. Next day, second big league at bat, a pinch hit grand slam.
Well, I called him highly decorated. There's just a long list of awards he got out of high school in Dallas, including the Texas Gatorade Player of the Year, but first team high school All-American on a lot of different publications. He's headed to the University of Texas before the Pirates signed him, but if you didn't hear it in our opening comments about him, a $5 million signing bonus was at the time the highest ever for a player outside of the first round.
Oh, good save by Freddie Freeman.
Good time to run. Almost threw one away. Reluctant to throw over again.
Closer play.
And Wild again.
Now you have a theory about pitchers throwing over times. Does that work for right-handers too?
I had a teammate that had it, but it was more for left-handers. Left-handers don't go 3 in a row.
Man.
Good grief.
Runner goes, pitch popped up and drifts into the seats. Warmer, sunny weather by weekend's end. And when that happens, this is one of the most beautiful ballparks in the major leagues. Views of downtown Pittsburgh, the river, of course, the Clemente Bridge. That missed inside. Good at bat by Bell. He's got a full count. Runner goes. Another foul ball.
Bell put up a good fight his first time up. Fouled off a lot of pitches.
One more stop on this trip for the Braves. We head to Miami after our series with the Pirates. Then opening week gets underway at SunTrust Park April 14th through the 20th. The Padres will be the first team into the new Braves home. Then the Washington Nationals. Tickets available. Get them online at Braves.com. Again, the runner goes, and a base hit to right. And the Pirates are going to have runners at the corners. Terrific at bat by Bell. And Marte at third after the hit batsman.
Nice swing here by Bell on a pitch in on him. Remember, he got really tied up his first at bat with some pop-ups. This time, hands inside the baseball. Bat was a little more level and able to turn on it. Good swing.
So here's McCutchen.
Who's jumping on the first fastball he saw first time up.
That's why he didn't get a fastball. It was a strike. Stansby, it's 1-0. McCutchen's 2 for 2.
Look at these fans. They're glad he's still in a Pirates uniform. And he ripped another fastball. That one out away from him. You can see Mike's reaction.
Yeah, how in the world did he have that covered?
Yeah.
So McCutchen's 2 for 2. The Pirates cash in the hit batsman. Marte scores the game's first run. Bell at second. Polanco in the batter's box. He lined out to end the first.
Get a swing on a pitch like that, you figure you're going to get a comebacker or a ground ball somewhere off the end of the bat.
Polanco drove in 86 runs, hit 22 homers last year.
This guy has grown into a cleanup hitter, Chip. I mean, remember when he first came up, he was a rail. 6'4" or so and lanky, but he's really filled out and gotten a lot stronger.
6'5", 230 according to the media guide. He'll be 26 in mid-September. A year ago Wednesday, he signed a 5-year contract extension that takes him through the 2021 season for Pittsburgh.
He runs well, but this would be an excellent time for Mike's first ground ball.
Little dribble, only one play, and Suzuki makes it. There's the ground ball, but not hit hard enough to get the double play. Runners move up to second and third, and David Freese with 2 outs will hit. Freese popped out to second. Pittsburgh signed him as a free agent in mid-March last year. Freese came to the big leagues with the Cardinals. Spent 2 years with the Angels. And as a Pirate, it's been smooth sailing for him. Suzuki, a nice stop.
I believe they got him out on that pop-up last time up on a slider, and a couple of sliders to start him in this at bat. Good fastball hitter. Don't want to make a mistake here with 2 in scoring position.
Ripped down the left field line. He's had a big year in 2011 with St. Louis. Hit .297 that year in a season that was interrupted by injury. He had a fracture in his left hand after being hit by a pitch against the Braves. He came back though to win the NLCS and World Series MVP honors for the Cardinals.
Spectacular fashion.
That'll slice into the stands. Freese with a 1-2 count needs 2 hits to get to 800 as a big leaguer. He'll be 34 in 3 weeks. Just missed. Freese went to the same high school that newly signed Ryan Howard went to. If you missed the news, the Braves signed Ryan Howard to a minor league contract yesterday. Both he and David Freese went to Lafayette High School in suburban St. Louis. 2-2 pitch is high, full count. Might get a little frustrated here.
Well, he's trying, with being ahead in the count, he's trying to get him to chase something out of the zone there. Another close pitch that Freese somehow laid off to make it 2-2. Now with base open, don't give in to him. Throw him another slider. Maybe he'll chase. Did, but it was a bad pitch.
Cervelli waits on deck. Pittsburgh has struck first. An RBI hit from Andrew McCutchen, who stands at second base. Fastball missed high, and now Suzuki out for a chat. This is the battle with Mike Foltynewicz. You could see the frustration after McCutchen covered the outer half of the plate and singled to score a run. And after he saw Freese foul off a couple of pitches, missing badly with that one, you could see a little bit of that frustration simmering to the surface, and Chuck Hernandez makes his first trip.
He got ahead of Freese. He was in a position to put him away, didn't get a call, and that may have been part of the frustration too. That made the count 2-2. But he didn't make, or those 2 sliders that Freese fouled off, he didn't make good pitches with it. One was up, one was in that he was able to fight off. He wasn't able to throw it to the middle of the plate and have it break off the plate and have him chase it. So part of that's on Mike and his command of his slider in an effort to get Freese. No damage though. Had the base open. He's got to start over with Cervelli.
Flied out his first time up. Bases loaded for the Pirates. And a strike. The mist and the snow begins again as that one up and under the chin of the Pirate catcher.
I don't know if this is grip or just out and out lack of control, because we have one of those snow showers and it's coming down. After Cervelli got hit in the helmet last year, he wasn't taking any chances with that one.
He has to stop and put on the face mask just to try to stay warm. It has turned nasty in an instant. 2 balls and a strike. Ground ball to second. Phillips will flip to Dansby, and that's the inning. Pittsburgh gets a hit batsman and an RBI hit from their superstar Andrew McCutchen. After 3, Pittsburgh leads by 1 with Dansby, Swanson, Freddie Freeman, and Matt Kemp. Nothing. Dansby, Swanson, Freddie Freeman, Matt Kemp are coming up. Dansby leads what should be a very exciting National League rookie class in 2017.
Yeah, some names on there you probably haven't heard a whole lot about, including Margot, the outfielder with San Diego. But these 2 guys here, Bell and Glasnow, certainly have the attention of a lot of people around baseball and have a chance to have big seasons, especially Bell playing every day like Dansby Swanson.
And he had a good at bat in the 3rd inning, did Mr. Bell. Picked up his first hit on his home turf this year, and that helped lead to the game's only run. So let's see what the Braves can do. 2nd time through the order. Swanson leads off. Dansby fly to left in the opening inning.
While that snow is not sticking, it's still wet. And when you're standing out there in the field, you get wet standing in all those flurries.
So quick innings would be appreciated by the defenses.
Bottom of the 3rd was anything but quick.
Pittsburgh sent 7 to the plate, scored a run. Left them loaded though. Let's see if Matta can get even here. Inside for Dansby. Count to him 2-2. That ball darting in on his hands, and Dansby couldn't catch up. Third strikeout for Nova. Fourth inning off to a good start for the Pirates starter. 1 out.
Braves are swinging through a ton of fastballs.
They struck out 31 times in the series against the Mets. They've struck out 3 times so far today. Now to play by Freddie, and he's behind. 0-2. Part about the strikeouts that was kind of disappointing in New York was when they happened. The Braves were 3 for 20 with runners in scoring position against the Mets, with 11 strikeouts in those 20 at-bats. There's a thing of beauty for Freddie Freeman. That's how you beat a shift. And he's aboard with a 1-out single.
Just put it in play. Reminded me a lot of A.J. Przinsky. They put shifts on for A.J. and now he would try to just ping one over there to the left side.
Freddie hit his a lot harder than A.J. did, though.
Well, that goes without saying, but and in this case, there's a fast runner aboard.
So here's Kemp. Matt hit it right on the button to straightaway center. It chased Starling Marte to the middle of the warning track in the opening inning. See what he can do with Freeman at first. Right back where it came from, and a base hit to center.
Boy, is he squaring it up. That ball he hit to center might have been a little wind aided in the first or the second inning. Actually, the first inning. But he hit that one right on the barrel.
So for a guy that you heard Kelsey said doesn't really know how to play in the cold weather because of his days on the West Coast, I'd say he likes it just fine from an offensive standpoint. So the table set for Nick Markakis. 2 on, 1 out. Ron Washington busy. He's the Braves' third base coach. He'd like to shake hands with some fellas today. A strike.
Nova only walked 1 batter in spring training in 14 innings. Struck out 13. A new life in Pittsburgh.
It's funny how it works, how the change of scenery can help a pitcher. Nova was in and out of the rotation with the Yankees, came to the Pirates. Things worked out great. Pittsburgh had Francisco Liriano here. Didn't work out for him. He went to Toronto and had a season for the Jays, much like Ivan Nova had in Pittsburgh. Post pitch. Markakis got the call. Freeman at second, Kemp at first. Now it's 2-2. That'll bounce into the Braves dugout. And we will do that. All of a sudden, bright afternoon. Mist is gone. The snow has stopped. Wind has died down just a bit. And Markakis is hit by a pitch. So the bases are loaded for the Braves.
It's funny how one at bat will affect how another at bat is pitched. Nick hit the ball right on the nose his first time up and hit it to short. Mercer caught it. So this time around they've been trying to bury the pitch down and in to keep him from being able to kind of inside out the ball, thinking that's what he was trying to do all along.
So all this started with Freddie Freeman poking the ball through the vacant left side of the Pirates infield. Kemp sizzled one up the middle. Now Markakis hit by a pitch, and they're loaded for Phillips. Five grand slams, as you see, from Braves second baseman. It's a big ballpark for right-hand hitters. Ball one.
Good takes. Getting to get the ball up a little bit, so at the very least he could drive it to the outfield, get a sacrifice fly, and tie the game.
Three balls, no strikes.
But that's about 6 pitches in a row that have been really off.
And after he hit Markakis, he was looking at Cervelli. It's almost like totally lost the feel for the baseball.
Well, that's certainly possible too, as we saw it happen to Fultonevich in the bottom of the third with the cold air and the snow.
Three balls and a strike. Freeman, Kemp, and Markakis, the runners. Mentioned all the games that Brandon played in this park as a member of the Reds. He's enjoyed hitting here. A lifetime .326 hitter at PNC Park. Like a little of that magic right here with a full count. Up the middle. Mercer, though, steps on the bag and throws a strike to first. Atlanta loads the bases in the fourth, but a double play ends their bid to get it tied.
to the bottom of the 4th inning. Mike Fultonevich on the mound for the Braves. Originally, it was supposed to be R.A. Dickey, but the Braves made the switch. When I talked to Dickey, he said it's because these are the worst conditions for a knuckleballer to pitch in because he uses his fingernails. And for him, his fingertips become numb, which obviously would make it very difficult to throw that knuckleball pitch. Mike Fultonevich, a fastball guy, he's doing pretty well today, and he's used to pitching in these conditions. He told Brian Snicker because he grew up in Illinois, so he's pitched in cold his whole life. R.A. Dickey on the mound tomorrow with 58 and sunny.
I like that. 58 and sunny. That's going to feel almost hot.
Take it right now.
Tomorrow against Chad Kuhl for Pittsburgh. See if Mike can have an efficient inning. Threw a lot of pitches in the Pirate third. Gave up just the 1 run. And that's the difference. 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but he's already up to 66 pitches. You're right. A quick inning would help.
Freddie Freeman back pedals, and Brandon Phillips backing up the play. Makes the grab. Wynn played some tricks with that one.
I can't tell you how good a play that was by Brandon. Not taking it for granted that Freddie had it. The way the wind is blowing, which is out toward right center, is taking it away from him all the way, and Brandon was right there to back it up.
You see what Brandon did? He saw that Freddie called for it, took a quick peek, had his eyes on the ball, took a peek at Freddie, saw that he was staggering a bit, and then all of a sudden was right there to make the play. Gold Glover.
Not easy to come in and bail a guy out. That's why he had to go to his knee.
So 1 out for Jordy Mercer. He ended the second with a fly ball to right. It's 3-1 to him.
Now a little walk off the mound to regroup. Chance to have a good inning with the bottom of the order. The pitcher on deck. Wants this guy to put it in play.
Full count. Got 3 other afternoon games in the big leagues today. The Red Sox are in Detroit playing the Tigers. Detroit leads 1-0. Washington's in Philly, and the Dodgers play the Rockies a little bit later on. Slow dribbler, foul at third. Braves fans, get your tickets to secure your seats for your favorite theme nights and gate giveaways during the inaugural season at SunTrust Park. Don't miss Star Wars Night, Bartolo Colon Bobblehead Night, and many, many more. Visit Braves.com/promotions and get all the details. In the air to center, and a base hit for Jordy Mercer.
See if Nova's bunting here with 1 out. He moves up in the front of the box like he is. And if he is, fire those fastballs. Hoping he might bump one right back to you.
Mike's a little out of sorts right now. He's just missing, or he thinks the calls are being missed. There's the hard bunt. But Mike's going to make the play to first with a bare hand. Phillips at the first base bag. Sacrifice works, and we're back at the top of the order at starting Marte.
Nicely done.
Marte has been struck out. He's also been struck by a pitched ball. And he scored the lone run.
Marte won his Gold Glove playing left field. He's now moved to center, where it may not be quite so easy to win a Gold Glove, given the likes of last year's center fielder that won it, Ender Inciarte. Guys like Billy Hamilton, Adam Eaton, now in Washington.
Another good pitch from Mike. 0-2.
Really overthrowing that slider. He's made some good pitches with it, like 2 pitches ago, but when he tries to overcook it, it's not doing anything. Just a cement mixer, as John Smoltz called it.
Base hit to left. Here comes Mercer around third. Kemp loads up. His throw to the plate is going to be not in time. Marte singles home a run with 2 outs, and Pittsburgh extends the lead to 2-0.
You mentioned this in New York, Chip, about how the Braves hitters were not able to eliminate any pitches from the Mets pitchers. Well, right now, the Pirates rather are kind of eliminating that slider from contention and dealing with the fastball, and there was a good swing by Marte.
So single runs in the Pirate third and fourth. Here's Bell, who had a key at bat last time up. He singled to right field.
Turned out to be a close play at home plate, but Mercer able to get that hand in there before the tag. You know, we saw Mike take that walk behind the mound when he fell behind Mercer 3-1, knowing that he had a chance to have a clean inning if he can get Mercer and then the pitcher. But falling behind, and then going 3-2 and not wanting to walk him, gave up a base hit, then the bunt, and then Marte.
He's about to make his 84th pitch, and he's not out of the 4th inning yet. When the Braves hit in the 5th inning, they'll have the 7, 8, 9 spots coming up, and maybe a decision for Brian Snitker. We'll see. Big lead at second for Marte. And Fultonevich thought he had him struck out. He takes a couple of steps toward the dugout.
Got to agree with him, with Mike. That was one of his better sliders.
That one wasn't. Second walk. Bell's aboard, and now you've got to deal with McCutchen, who's hit the ball hard twice at his 2 for 2.
Suzuki's doing his best to try to get him back on the tracks. Coats and sweatshirts being shed out in the Braves bullpen.
And Chuck Hernandez will make another visit. Mention the Nationals and Phillies today. Max Scherzer will make his season debut for Washington. Vince Velasquez will pitch for the Phillies. Remember, Scherzer missed some time this spring, coming back from a stress fracture in one of his fingers. That's why he wasn't their opening day starter. And the Dodgers and Rockies. Rockies had an excellent series to start the year with Milwaukee. They won 3 of the first 4 games.
Well, he knows that McCutchen has rifled a couple of fastballs already. Starts with a slider.
McCutchen has hit 175 homers as a Pirate. He's one behind Barry Bonds on the all-time Pirates home run list for 4th place. And he's taken 3 off the plate. The green light. And if there's been a time in Mike's young big league career where he has broken, it's going through a lineup for a 3rd time. That's exactly where he is now. And has some 2-out trouble with McCutchen. 3 balls and a strike. They are loaded. And let's see if that's the end of the line for Foltynewicz, who again is due up 3rd in the 5th inning. Another visit from Suzuki. Gregory Polanco is the Pirates hitter.
Home plate umpires missed several pitches from Mike today, and that is going to end his day. He's missed several pitches, but Mike's body language is not earning him any benefit of the doubt on any calls either. That frustration that he exhibits, umpire sees it, all of a sudden the zone gets even tighter.
So Mark Ripperger, the home plate umpire. Mike Foltynewicz departs after 3 2/3 innings. He walked 3, hit a batter, and for the moment trails the Pirates in his season debut by a score of 2-0. Back with more from PNC in a minute.
Sponsored by your local Ford dealer and the Georgia Lottery.
Chip and Joe back with you from, once again, snowy Pittsburgh. 2-0. Pirates have the lead. They've got the bases loaded in the 4th. 2 outs. Disappointing start for Mike Foltynewicz. A lot of pitches in his 3 2/3 innings. 6 hits, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. In fact, that was the first batter of the game. He struck out Starling Marte on 3 pitches, and it looked like he was going to get his year off to a great start. Didn't work out that way, and he needs some help from Eric O'Flaherty to put out this 4th inning mess.
Eric O'Flaherty bounced back from a rough outing opening day to have a 1-2-3 inning in the 8th last night, including a strikeout of Neil Walker. pitch counts are supremely important to Eric O'Flaherty. Sinker slider guy. If he falls behind in situations like this, where he then has to deliver a better strike, the balance shifts to the hitter strongly. That was a good pitch there on a breaking ball to even the count.
Two and one. That's why O'Flaherty's in the game. Favorable matchup with the lefty-righty split. 2 balls and a strike. Great speed aboard for Pittsburgh. And now it's 2-2.
Good fastball. Sitting out in that bullpen, freezing. Mighty tough to come in and be sharp. But here it is, 3-2.
So now the crowd makes some noise. Marte at third, Bell at second, McCutchen at first. Again, a payoff pitch coming from Eric O'Flaherty.
It's crazy, I know, but from 2 outs and a runner at second base in a 1-0 game to being actually still manageable at 2-0, but all of a sudden bases loaded, 2 out and a full count where you've got to throw strikes. Game could tilt right here.
Fly ball well hit center, but Ender is going to catch that. And O'Flaherty retires Polanco, and that ends the Pirates' threat. They settle for a 4th inning run. Bottom of the order up for the Braves, now 2-0 Pirates. The ATL with nonstop coverage of the Braves, Hawks, and Atlanta United all month long. It's brought to you by Cook's Pest Control. Nice job by Eric O'Flaherty to get the Braves out of a bases-loaded jam a moment ago. Now it's Pittsburgh 2, Atlanta nothing for Ivan Nova, the Pirates starter. He'll face Garcia, Kurt Suzuki, and then a Braves pinch hitter. Adonis flying out to center his first time up. And Nova stick to this 2-run lead. Missed with his first pitch.
Say this for Nova. He's been getting a lot of time in the dugout to warm up.
Mike Foltynewicz, 3 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs. 3 walks, a strikeout, a hit batter, and I believe I heard him say 91 pitches. Skied into shallow center. Harrison drifts out, and he'll backpedal and make the play. 1 out. And here's Suzuki. Kirk popped out to third base.
Bonifacio out to pinch hit for O'Flaherty.
Steve, right 1. One thing to keep an eye on with the Pirate team is how that young staff develops. We're going to see Garrett Cole here on Sunday afternoon. Great matchup with Julio Teheran. A couple years ago, he was as good of a pitcher as any pitcher in the National League, and last year had injury problems.
Yeah, they were very concerned about him.
Jamison Taillon pitched real well up in Boston. Got Nova today. We'll see Chad Kuhl here tomorrow night. Mercer at short. He'll throw an ice ball to first, and that takes care of Suzuki for the second out. And here is Bonifacio. Two runs, 6 hits for the Pirates. No runs, 3 hits so far for the Braves. We're in the 5th inning. Game 1 of our series with Pittsburgh.
Nice job by O'Flaherty to get that 1 out that he was brought in to get, and it wasn't an easy one. Bases loaded and Polanco up there. Kept it a manageable game.
Sky toward left, and Polanco drifting back. He'll drop it. So a gift wrap 2-base error for Emilio Bonifacio on Polanco's drop. And now Ender Inciarte will try to drive home the first Braves run.
Well, Freddie Freeman not the only guy having a little trouble with this win. A very reliable outfielder. A little bit nonchalant on that. Kept drifting with it. But to Emilio's credit, he didn't just jog. He was running to first.
So let's see if Atlanta can take advantage. Inciarte singled to start the game. He bunted to first base and was out in the 3rd. And a strike.
You saw Josh Colmentor warming up in the Braves bullpen. He's the designated long man or spot starter if needed. And he's from Wisconsin. He doesn't need sleeves.
This is a summer day for him. Try stop Cervelli. Stroke toward right. McCutchen on the run, won't get that. That's going to bounce off the scoreboard. Ender Inciarte has doubled home Bonifacio, and the Braves do get a gift, and they've cut the lead in half.
An absolute gift. And let's go back to the bottom half of the 4th inning, and that out that O'Flaherty was able to record to keep it a manageable game. They get a break with the error, and Inciarte capitalizes, and he's in scoring position. Hanging breaking ball.
So the Braves are on the board. Let's see if Dansby can bring home Inciarte. Good cut, fouled away, strike one.
Struck him out last time up on a fastball he couldn't catch up to. Certainly behind in the count, you got to look fastball and adjust. One last time up was running in on him.
Tried that spot again, but Dansby took it. 1-2 the count. Mist and rain starts to fall again. It only seems to happen when the Braves are hitting.
Take.
So Nova's thinking about Freddie Freeman on deck as much as Dansby Swanson right here. Love to bring Freddie to the plate here in the 5th. A 2-out, 2-base error and a double as the first Braves run scored. Dansby's battled back to fill up the count.
He's still trying to go back to that spot, hoping he can crowd Dansby and get him to swing at that pitch. It's a little in off the plate, but so far no luck this at bat. Guy in scoring position, concentration level goes up, focus goes up. Dansby trying to get a good pitch to get him in.
Driven toward right, McCutchen slides and makes a great catch. That saved a run. Andrew McCutchen still a superb outfielder. This time in right, he robs Dansby Swanson. And after 4.5, the Braves down a run. on the season. That should be a fun race in the AL Central between the Tigers and the Cleveland Indians, who are off to a flying start. But Minnesota's surprised some folks. They're 3-0 too. As we
I need to apologize to Josh. I said he's from Wisconsin. He's actually from Michigan. Cold weather guy, though.
Got your point. Yeah, he pitched well for the Braves last year. I remember he was with the Cubs AAA team at Iowa when Atlanta acquired him in mid-September. Colementor made 3 starts, all of them with the Braves, and all he did was go 2-0 with a 2.37 ERA and 19 innings in those 3 starts.
I think he had 1 rough outing in spring training, and other than that, he pitched really well down in Orlando too.
And with those 3 starts, Colementor set an Atlanta record. He was the 16th different man to start a game last year, the most by any other major league team, and it tied a franchise record since 1900 for most starters used in a season. That's why the Braves went out and got R.A. Dickey and Bartolo Colon and Jaime Garcia to stabilize the Atlanta starting 5.
He's a valuable part of the staff because he can pitch long relief.
Well hit center field. Inciarte on the run to the track, to the wall. It is gone. Freese hits a home run over the center field fence, and Pittsburgh gets that run right back.
Like maybe a cutter that just stayed in the middle of the plate. Wind blowing out, no doubt. But for Josh, despite that homer, his value, instead of having to have someone like Matt Whistler at a young age be a long guy and spot starter, Matt can go to Gwinnett and pitch on a regular basis, and Colementor's here if needed to start a game.
Francisco Cervelli's 0 for 2. Good change. 0-2. Kind of ironic with Colementor during those 3 starts with the Braves. He allowed 1 hit in the first inning of all 3 of his Brave starts. That 1 hit was a homer. A homer here to David Freese to start the Pirate 5th. And that's launched out a play foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Another cannon shot, this time to left. Kemp's not getting that one. Freese and Cervelli go back to back.
Nice turn on that pitch. Another, looked like another cutter.
So the Pirates now have a 4-1 lead. Josh Harrison's the batter. Mention all the starters the Braves used last year. You know what the record for most starters used by a team in a single season is?
I do not.
24. The 1915 Philadelphia A's. And no play for Freddie Freeman. So that's one amazing stat regarding the Philadelphia A's. The other one involves the longtime manager and owner of the Philadelphia A's. Saw this the other day and I couldn't believe it. 2017 is an historic year in Major League Baseball. As Josh Harrison's the hitter. Of course, last season was the final year behind the microphone for Vin Scully. This is the first year in Major League Baseball as another shot hammered toward left. And Kemp with a diving stop. Pretty play. One out. This is the first year since 1885 that neither Vin Scully nor Connie Mack are involved in Major League Baseball.
That's crazy. That's crazy talk.
Connie Mack debuted as a Major League player in 1886 with the then Washington Nationals and managed through the end of the 1950 season. 1950, Vin Scully worked behind the microphone with the Dodgers. Think about that.
That is absolutely amazing.
Little pop behind second. That's trouble. That's going to drop. Mercer's had a big day with 2 hits. And nothing's coming easy for Josh Colmenter in his Braves season debut. Of course, there's another story in LA about Vin Scully this year, his first opening day in a long time where he wasn't working. And he was asked by one of the writers at the LA Times, hey, what are you doing opening day? And as only Vin Scully could say, well, I'm engaging in that other great American pastime. I'm paying bills and washing the car. So
good for him. I'm not even sure I know who's doing the games.
Joe Davis.
Okay.
Joe Davis is filling in.
Good luck to Joe.
You bet. A bunt. Colmenter is going to make the play to first. And another sacrifice for Ivan Nova, his second of the game. And we go back to the top in Starling Marte. Back-to-back solo home runs for the Pirates in the 5th. Freese and Cervelli. And extended the lead now to 3 runs. What challenges does Colmenter have with that funky delivery for a hitter?
It's all about deception because there are a couple of spots in his windup in particular where it looks like he's going to come from a more traditional arm slot. But then all of a sudden you see him lean back to clear his body out of the way to come right over the top. So in essence you get a good look at the ball coming out of his hand, but sometimes it can be a little funny in how you're expecting it to come out.
Marte struck out on 3 pitches to start the game, was hit by a pitch in the 3rd and later scored, and then drove home a 4th inning run himself. As good player. All-Star, Gold Glover, and leading off for the Pirates. There's an inside corner strike 3 call, and that will retire the side. The Buccos play long ball. Freese homers over the center field fence. Cervelli goes deep to left in back-to-back fashion, and after 5 chilly innings in Steel City, it's the Pirates 4, the Braves 1.
sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and SunTrust.
4-1 Pittsburgh, game 1 at PNC Park. Let's see if the heart of the order can get things started for the Braves in the 6th. Freezing Freddie Freeman is going to get things started against Ivan Nova. Freddie's 1 for 2. He singled last time up. Little roller toward Bell at first. He's got it. And Nova to the bag. 4 out number 1. Time for our Coors Light cold hard facts.
And they're colder and harder today.
Yes, they are. Outfield home run production is today's subject.
Braves were next to last in that category last year, tied with Kansas City. Oddly, the Phillies had 1 less. I don't think the Braves will be in that category this year.
No. Not the way Matt Kemp is swinging the bat. He's hit it hard twice. He was retired in the first on a fly ball to center and then whistled a single up the middle in the 4th. And this is a bolt past Mercer into left field.
Matt's not doing real well over there. When he got up after making that diving catch in left field, I don't know if he had a cramp, but he took him a long time to get back to his position. And after the base hit, a very ginger trot to first.
So he'll be taken down for Chase Darno, who pinch runs at first base. So we'll keep an eye on that. Any word we get, we'll pass it along.
He already told Kelsey that this is as cold as he's ever played baseball, and it was obvious that when he got to first, Chase had already been told, you're going to go run for him. So I think it's something that Brian Snitker and Jeff Porter were aware of after he came in.
That missed up and away for Nick Markakis. Ball 2. They're in the 6th inning.
It's that play again. He laid out, made the catch, but he was slow to get up and kind of favoring his right leg a little bit. Kind of stretching there a little bit. Don't know what happened, but I think that was where it started.
Two balls, no strikes. And there's no cure for it. I mean, it's the season starting when it does. There's going to be cold weather someplace, and you can't have all the hot weather teams opening at home for the first 10 days of the season every year. You got to fight through it. But unfortunately, the Braves, nasty weather in New York, frigid weather in Pittsburgh, and we won't have warm weather until the end of the road trip when we get down to Miami for 2 days. Well hit toward the gap in left center field. Can anybody catch that? The answer is no. That's going to bounce off the warning track and into the seats. It's a double for Nick Markakis. And the Braves are in business with 1 out.
Too bad that bounced into the seats. That would have produced a run. two good swings by Nick today. One a line out, and this a fastball up and away that he leveled off on deepest part of the park.
So Ray Searage, the Pirate pitching coach, is on his way out. Their bullpen has begun to work. Matt Kemp has come out of the game for a pinch runner in the 6th. Remember, the Braves used Emilio Bonifacio as a pinch hitter in the 5th inning. So either d'Arnaud's going to stay in the game and play the outfield, or Jace Peterson perhaps. We'll wait and see.
As thin as the Braves bench is, I don't think they'd use 2 players for 1 change. I think Chase, I would expect him to stay in the game and play left.
Well, let's hope that's not for a good long while.
Chance to close the gap here with just 1 out.
Phillips scorches that one into the seats foul.
Brandon came up with the bases loaded and 1 out in the 4th and hit into a double play.
Wow, 1 hop stop by Cervelli. That was a heck of a play.
He was coming up out of his crouch too.
One and 2 now for Brandon Phillips. Cervelli may not have liked the location of that pitch. They've met a lot in this inning. If you're not sure by now,
purpose pitch, moving back, and then assuming that was the purpose of this next pitch, would be maybe a breaking ball away.
that's exactly what happened. Good call, Joe. Nova takes care of Phillips with a slider. Brandon's 0 for 3. And now it's up to Garcia if the Braves are to pick up these runners in scoring position. And what a difference for Nova from his days as a Yankee, where he's had scattered success and scattered the baseball all over the strike zone. Hasn't walked a soul today. He struck out 4.
Well, that was the key to his success with the Pirates. It was in spring training, and signs of it again today, and that is just pounding the strike zone.
Pitches for Nova. He's given up 1 unearned run to this point.
Another meeting.
This is where the pace of play initiative for baseball is something to talk about. This is the fourth, maybe the fifth meeting in the inning between Nova and Cervelli. Oh, 2.
Nice block again. Cervelli played on the Italian national team in the World Baseball Classic. He's actually from Venezuela.
One ball, 2 strikes. Just missed. Good try. And a better eye by Adonis. Even count. Ground ball toward Harrison at second from the cut of the outfield grass. He'll make the play. The Braves threaten in the 6th, can't break through and trail 4-1.
We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Josh Bell set to lead off for Pittsburgh, and he's having a pretty good day. Now, last year's camp, he reported weighing 248 pounds. This year, he reported weighing 226 pounds. And that all started with a conversation with Reds first baseman Joey Votto while he was on first. Votto encouraged him to try yoga. He said, power's power no matter what you weigh, using Jose Altuve as an example. So Bell did yoga 5 to 6 days a week this offseason and says he is feeling as good as ever.
Good for him. He's taken control of his career. A very highly touted Pirates prospect, Josh Bell, who's flied out, singled, and walked today. Guys in your day, Joe, do yoga?
Negative.
No?
We had a catcher that played for the Yankees.
Took me a minute, sorry.
He was before my time, certainly.
Yeah, right. That's what threw him.
But no, if they did, I didn't know about it.
No. One ball, 2 strikes. And a tapper foul. That's something else I've noticed about the Pirates today. They have not had many swings and misses.
Yeah, after that first batter, Marte went down on 3 pitches. Everybody was fighting off Fultonevich and making him work.
Yep, just 2 strikeouts for the Braves staff to this point. One by Cole Mentor, one by Fultonevich. And this one jammed toward third. Adonis kicks it, recovers, and has no play. So Bell reaches for a third time.
Yeah, just a fumble there. Should have had that easily.
And here's McCutchen. I'd say he's enjoyed his return on opening day in Pittsburgh. 2 hits, an RBI, and a walk. He's also made a terrific catch. I know Major League Baseball has a Promote the Stars initiative this year. They really want to focus on the great players, young and old, in our sport. You could do a lot worse than promoting this guy.
Kidding.
I think he's got a lot of his due when the Pirates started getting back to the playoffs. Many of his prime years as a Pirate were spent getting them back into postseason play. It'd be wonderful to see him play his entire career in Pittsburgh. Don't know if that'll happen or not.
I think it's why he's still a Pirate, is that there was such a high cost for him, even after a down year. Or in many statistical categories, his lowest productive season, least productive season, that Pirates wanted a big haul.
You bet.
A pirate trove, if you will. No, I probably don't want that, do you?
No, I'm good. There's the 2-2. Little cue shot back to the mound. Might get 2 out of this. Nope. High throw. And Phillips got the force at second to take care of Bell. 1 out. We talk all the time about how scouting is the most inexact science in our sport, how difficult it is to project what an 18-year-old kid is going to be in 4, 5, 6 years down the road as a major league player. I would assume even for veteran players who have a season like Andrew McCutchen, the projectability is even more difficult because of the emotional attachment of what a player means to the franchise, and quite honestly, the financial commitments you have to make should you sign a guy that's as established as Andrew is as a major league player. And that's where the Pirates, I think, find themselves. Will he stay? Will he go? Can they afford him? Does he want to stay in Pittsburgh after it was rumored he was going to be traded away?
I'm really glad he didn't go to Washington.
Yeah. A strike to Polanco.
They got a solid player in any event in Adam Eaton. But he's no McCutchen at this point. With all due respect to him.
Chopper foul at first. It's 1-2. Speaking of the Nationals, Bryce Harper's hit a 2-run homer in the first inning in Philly. 2-0 Washington the lead. Bryce Harper's another guy that had a down year last year and is poised to have a monster 2017.
Yeah, he's going to have a big year. He stays healthy. Get ready.
And Braves fans, you'll have your first chance to boo Bryce Harper on our first homestand after we finish up in Miami. We've got the Padres for 4, the Nationals for 3 on the first homestand at SunTrust Park. The 2-2 pitch. Runner goes. Ground ball right side. Phillips and his man played well. Throw to first takes care of Polanco. McCutchen in at second. 2 outs for David Freese. And he hit one a long way against Colementor last time up.
Letter high, and then it was on the fly.
Guessing this will be Colementor's last inning. He's due second in the 7th inning. But again, the Braves have a thin bench. They've already used 2 of their bench players in Bonifacio and now Darno, who's in left. This ball's hit to center. And that's a can of corn for Ender Inciarte. He makes the play, and that retires the side. 8-9-1 for the Braves. We're off to the 7th. Pittsburgh, we continue our road to SunTrust Park, presented by Chevrolet. 2 more to follow against the battling Buccos. Then after off day Monday, 2 in Miami against the Marlins. And then we're home at last. We'll open up SunTrust Park on April 14th against Mark Grant, Don Orsillo, and those San Diego Padres. Couple of changes for the Buccos. Felipe Rivero is going to check in and pitch. He'll bat second. John Jaso takes over at first base. He'll be slotted 9th. 4-1 is your score after 6.
This guy came from the Nationals in the deal for Mark Melanson. That was in July last year. 75 games combined between the 2 teams. Mixed results, a lot of strikeouts. 6'2", listed at 210 out of Venezuela, but he looks a lot thinner than that.
That got the home plate umpire on the way by. 1 ball, 1 strike to Kurt Suzuki. Tyler Flowers has grabbed a bat. He will pinch hit for Colementor next. We got the word on Matt Kemp's departure, by the way. It was for precautionary reasons. That right leg was a little tight. So Kemp is out of the game for the Braves after 2 hits and 3 tries this afternoon. Ivan Nova, 6 innings of 6 hit, 1 unearned run ball, no walks, 4 strikeouts, and 1 hit batsman. That was Nick Markakis. Swing and a miss. Suzuki's retired for the 3rd time today. 1 up, 1 down. And now Flowers will be taken down. It looks like Anthony Recker will hit. Josh Cole entered 2 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, and a strikeout, 2 homers in his Braves debut.
Anthony did a good job for the Braves last year in a backup role. 2 homers, 15 RBIs, 8 doubles. Good batting average, right at 280.
Braves waited until the last possible minute to set rosters before deciding whether to carry an extra reserve player or an extra relief pitcher. They chose to bring Anthony Recker. The Braves at the moment have a real luxury. They have 3 catchers on their active roster right now.
He's from Allentown, born in Allentown, PA.
Swing and a miss. 2 up, 2 down, 2 swinging strikeouts. Calling all kids, your Braves are having a special opening day just for you on Sunday, April 16th. There will be special activities and prizes just for kids and the first opportunity to run the bases at SunTrust Park after the game. Go to Braves.com/tickets today for more details. I have nightmares when you say Allentown, Pennsylvania, by the way.
Nightmares, I'm sorry, what?
From Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
Had a bad experience there with the Orlando Magic. Yeah, we got snowed in one time. Snow was so high we couldn't get out of the hotel. I mean, 10, 12-foot high drifts, snowing sideways for days on end. This is back when Shaq and Penny and Horace Grant were with the Magic.
They could see over it. You couldn't.
I had no chance. And Marilyn Manson.
Yes.
And Sesame Street on Ice were also in Allentown and stuck at our hotel. Pop fly out of play. And wouldn't you know, everybody's angry, wants to go home. It's the middle of a bad basketball season. And somebody pulls the fire alarm at 3 o'clock in the morning. And we're going down the fire escape trying to figure out how to get out of the hotel. And who's behind our assistant coach, Richie Autobado, but Marilyn Manson in full attire.
Oh, boy.
And Richie Autobado says, I know I must be in hell if this guy's behind me.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
What are you doing in Allentown?
That's a very good question. We had played a basketball game the night before in Cleveland. Woke up, had practice. It was sunny, 76 degrees, and we had to fly to Philly. That was the storm of the century, and under the NBA rules, you had to try to get to the city no matter the weather. We circled and circled. The only place we could land was Allentown, Pennsylvania, because all the airports were shut down. So we were stuck in Allentown, I think, for 4 days. Beautiful, beautiful place, wonderful people. But Marilyn Manson and Big Bird were hanging out with the Magic. So the best part of that trip was leaving. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Right back where it came from. Rivero did the splits. And Jaso held the bag somehow at first. Sharply hit. But NCRT and the Braves are out of luck in the 7th. Time to stretch for the first time at PNC Park. The Pirates lead their home opener 4-1. brought to you by T-Mobile. Only T-Mobile lets you stream, post, and share all things MLB. With T-Mobile One, unlimited data means unlimited baseball. Back with you in Pittsburgh. 4-1. The Pirates have the lead as they come up in their half of the 7th inning. Braves will bring on their 4th pitcher of the afternoon, Chaz Rowe. Follows Mike Foltynewicz, Eric O'Flaherty, and Josh Colmenter.
Couple of outings for Chaz. Not gone well so far. A couple of runs allowed. A couple of earned runs allowed so far in those 2 outings.
So Cervelli's from Venezuela, but played for Italy in the WBC. So, okay,
correct.
He homered last time up when the Pirates went back-to-back in the 5th. Mentioned that Francisco had an injury-plagued year last year for the Buccos. Hit 1 homer in 101 games. And has got #1 today in the 3rd game of the year for the Pirates. One of their games against the Boston Red Sox was washed out. They'll have to make that up. In fact, they have to go to Boston April 13th.
His home run may have been why several teammates were out of the dugout to greet him. They don't get many opportunities to do that.
Leadoff walk puts Cervelli at first. Braves have issued 4 walks in the game now. Walks have been a bit of a problem for the Braves relief staff in the early days of the year. They've now issued 8 walks in the first 13 innings or so. Ball 1 for Josh Harrison.
Second walk for Rowe to go with a hit batsman. It's interesting to me how pitchers who are so protective of their arms and worry about their arms, and rightfully so, and how some guys can't wear sleeves.
That hit the glove. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Right to the second base bag. It deflects away from Phillips, and all hands are safe.
Did that hit the base?
Have to take a look.
I thought it was going to be perfect with him covering the bag. I couldn't tell if it hit the backside of the base or not.
Well, you had the ball skipping past Rowe. You had the charging base runner. You had the base. A lot for Brandon Phillips to deal with on that play, and he couldn't come up with the ball cleanly. And now Pittsburgh has 2 on, nobody out for Mercer, who's been deadly, hitting 8th.
Oh, that was over the base. And here comes the snow again.
Mercer 2 hits and a run scored. Yeah, the Falcons and Steelers will kick off tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. It's unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, just a miserable, raw day. We really dodged bullets with the weather the last couple of days in New York last night and here in Pittsburgh today. And it we've had no interruptions and no delays. But no fun for the players. And with Matt Kemp already taken from the game for precautionary reasons, you'd really hope that both clubs can get out of a nasty day like today without anybody tightening up. 3 balls and a strike. Let's see if Ender can find it. He's looking for it. That missed. And he makes the catch. 1 away for John Jaso. Pittsburgh signed Jaso before last season. Former Ray, a former A. And John hit .268 with 8 homers last season. Threw a lot of walks too. Got on base about 35% of the time.
Excellent on base percentage.
Career highs in games, at bats, hits, and doubles. Last season, started 99 games at first base and 79 starts as their leadoff hitter.
Employs a different stance. Front foot dropped way back, but brings everybody back, brings every part of his lower half back to the plate. Has a little bit of a rocket kick before he puts that right foot down.
And he's another one of those real luxury kind of players because of his versatility, not only where he can hit, but where he can play. He play the corner outfield. He's able to play first base, but he was originally a catcher in the major leagues. So with Chris Stewart, the Pirates backup to Cervelli, you've got Jaso as a third Pittsburgh backstop. And a slow developing double play try for Atlanta. The Braves get the force at second, and Pittsburgh has them first and third now with 2 out.
I thought that was going to be a routine. Good hustle by Jaso prevented that from happening.
So the inning continues for Marte, first and third, and 2 outs. Braves will have their 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up in the 8th. Still a manageable game.
Yeah, and I think it seems like it's not, because they've left 10 men on base, including the bases loaded in back-to-back innings in the 3rd and 4th innings.
No balls, 2 strikes. And a base hit to left. So the Braves can't turn a double play, and the Pirates take advantage. Another RBI hit from Marte. That brings home Cervelli, and the Buccos are pulling away. It's 5-1. And that'll bring up Adam Frazier. He hits for Rivero, who worked a scoreless 7th.
Not able to make the play with the runner moving was one thing, but what appeared to be a routine ground ball for a double play probably should have been made.
Frazier got some action in that Red Sox series. He was the DH the other day up at Fenway Park. Made the club with an excellent spring. Led all players in Florida in runs and hits, and hit .403. Slicing. And foul. The other thing Frazier does very well as a left-hand hitter, he hits lefties very well.
He's a Clint Hurdle type player too. Clint loves hitters. Guys who give you tough at bats, tough outs.
One ball, 2 strikes. That's skied out of play. Two on, 2 out, 4-run Pittsburgh lead. They've out-hit the Braves 10-6. They've made a couple of errors in the game and have left 6 on base. Toward left, Darno broke back, now has to hurry in, nearly overran it. Tricky wins continue in the late innings here in Pittsburgh. Pirates add to their lead. It's 5-1, game 1 of our series. Joe and I will step aside for a moment. Let's send it to Jerome Juretovich back in our Atlanta studios. Jerome.
And I think, Jerome, that inability to turn the double play in the bottom half of the inning, I think it absolutely cold weather. Just standing out there, you see Brandon Phillips, he was standing with his hand inside his jersey trying to keep his hand warm. I think it was just very difficult to turn it with anything on that throw, and that's why Jaso was able to beat it out.
So Pittsburgh goes to the bullpen again. He's Wade LeBlanc, second reliever of the afternoon. Time with the Mariners and Pirates last year, good numbers, and they have an interesting setup with their relief corps, Joe. Not often you see a major league team with 4 left-handers in the bullpen.
Yeah, pretty solid too. You saw the record for LeBlanc at 4-0, and their best hasn't pitched today, and that's Tony Watson, who I've always thought was one of the better left-handed relievers in the National League.
So in the 8th, it'll be Swanson, Freeman, and d'Arnaud. Nick Markakis lurking as well. The action continues in the Pittsburgh pen, where the Buccos lead 5-1. Dansby today is 0 for 3.
And let's not forget too that the Braves had bases loaded, 1 out in the 4th inning, hit into a double play. They had 2nd and 3rd, 1 out in the 6th inning, and couldn't get a run in.
Yeah, they came into this ball game 3 for their first 20 with runners in scoring position. And when you face a starter like Nova or the guys in New York, you get a chance to score, you better do it. And the only run today for Atlanta, an unearned tally in the 5th. So Braves have 6 outs left. They trail 5-1. And a strike. Wonder how many pierogies they sold at the ballpark today, as cold as it is.
I'm sure a lot. Hot, cold, in between. It's always a pierogi kind of day.
That's one of the unique ballpark food features here in Pittsburgh. Read something this morning that I couldn't believe. The Seattle Mariners have a new taste treat to get fans fired up. First the pitch. They have Seattle wings. Those are fried oysters drizzled with hot sauce. And they have an item called Poquitos that you can top with crispy fried grasshoppers.
You know those outdoorsy folks up in the Northwest.
And once we get back to SunTrust Park, we'll tell you all about the unique food offerings we'll have in our new home starting on the 14th. Not sure if grasshoppers are going to make the list.
They're all better than the 2 you just mentioned.
Yes, they are. Shot, and that hit Freeze on the ricochet, and he's down on his knees at third base. Right in the chest, below the neck.
I hope it got him in the chest. Mercy. Looking more in the chest and collarbone area. I hope it. Confident it missed his throat.
An infield hit for Swanson. And a painful shot off the chest at the hot corner for David Freese, who's going to try to stay in the game.
Like it hit right on the lip of the grass. And yes, in the chest. Ow.
So with Freddie Freeman coming up, Pittsburgh employs the shift yet again. Freddie spoiled it with a soft single in the 4th inning that went into left field. Braves need base runners and then someone to pop one. As the skies have finally broken a bit. Some blue sky finally appearing here in Pittsburgh. Hope that's an omen for Atlanta late, as that one missed high from LeBlanc. 1 ball, no strikes. He took a shot toward left again. One and one.
Well, like you said, the Braves need base runners. He could hit a 2-run homer here. If they make a mistake, that would be very nice. Short of that, any way to get on.
Two balls, one strike. Chase Darno waits on deck. If you missed it earlier, Matt Kemp, after a 6th inning single, came out of the game for precautionary reasons. His right leg was tightening up and also made a diving catch in left. That's maybe when he started to feel a bit of leg discomfort. Ground ball into the shift. There's one. Forced on the play is Dansby Swanson. That's a 5-6 put out. It was Freese, the third baseman, that handled the ground ball. 1 on, 1 out. And so here is Darno batting for the first time.
Chase battled a bronchitis and flu bug during spring training that waylaid him for about a week or 8 days. Took him a while to bounce back.
He was fooled with that pitch. 1 and 2. Fly ball, shallow center. Harrison going out, won't get there. Throw into second, close play, and barely beating the wrap was Freddie Freeman. So Darno has a blue pit. The Braves have 2 on for Nick Markakis.
And Freddie was halfway, waiting to see if Marte was going to be able to make the catch. He had to hustle to avoid the force play.
Now, what's up with Mercer? Did he hurt himself? Did he break his glove? Yep. I think he popped the webbing on his glove at shortstop. Now, somebody going to have to go all the way to the clubhouse to get Mercer a glove?
Yep.
Can't he just use somebody else's glove?
No. A lot of guys don't want you putting your hand in their glove. He could have jogged into the dugout, though, and motioned to the bat boy, hey, run get my glove, instead of walking all the way in.
So
he has we'll call it a veteran glove. That probably has been restrung a time or two. You may have to restring it again after this glove that's 8 or 9 years old had a string break.
Kelsey.
Yeah, Jordy actually has used that glove since 2009 in each and every game. He's restitched it, relaced it a lot of times. That includes inside of the glove. So this might be the first game he's had to use a new glove for. So we'll see how he does with it.
Thank you, Kelsey. Fans were cheering because the sun peeked through for a split second.
First time all winter.
Yes.
Get excited. Then they booed when the clouds moved in again.
So 2 on, 1 out. And Markakis tried to get out of the way and fouled it away. It's supposed to be a pretty nice night here in Pittsburgh tomorrow, and I think everybody's looking forward to that. Cold, rainy weather at the start of this game. Pirates had some cold weather to deal with in Boston. Know about the Braves in New York. As LeBlanc delivers another strike, 0-2.
A couple of the base runners we were looking for at the beginning of the inning.
Braves have some thunder with Markakis, Phillips, and Garcia. And Cervelli already leads their team in homers as a catcher. He also leads the National League in meetings.
Kidding. Just got out of spring training. That should have been resolved.
Braves Live presented by Xfinity will follow us. Nick and Jerome are standing by in Atlanta. Fly ball pretty well hit toward McCutchen and right. Can't get it. It's over his head and up against the wall. That's going to score at least one. Darno's going to stop at third. And the Braves indeed are in business. It's a 5-2 game. So a pair of doubles for Nick Markakis today.
He was fooled on this pitch, but he went down and got it and just combed it a little bit out of the reach of McCutchen. The runners had to freeze because there's only one out. He looked like he just kind of whiffed on that almost.
Challenges for McCutchen his whole career as a center fielder, now moving to right. Would that affect him on a play like that?
I don't think so.
So LeBlanc is going to be taken down. He gave up a run, 3 hits so far. Brandon Phillips coming up. Braves bring the tying run to the plate in the 8th. Cross in the 8th. They have runners in scoring position with 1 out, and Daniel Hudson is on to pitch.
They signed him as a free agent in the offseason. Guy who's also battled a lot of arm troubles, but when he's been healthy, he's been pretty darn good, both as a starter and as a reliever.
Yeah, Hudson's had a couple of Tommy John surgeries. I think they're in back-to-back seasons. He was a 16-game winner with the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2011 out of Old Dominion University. It was 2013 and 2014 for those Tommy Johns. Originally a Chicago White Sox farmhand. They got to the big leagues with the Sox in 2009. So Brandon Phillips will greet him first. And a shot to center field, a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Markakis around third. Throw to the plate's going to be cut off. And Brandon Phillips brings the Braves to within a run. It's 5-4.
Brandon had RBI opportunities twice today. He atones for it right here with a hanging breaking ball up and rips it. Nick Markakis got a great jump, but there might have been a play at the plate had Jaso not cut this off. Break for Atlanta.
So all 3 runs scored, charged to LeBlanc. Now the Braves could go ahead with a long ball. Adonis Garcia, the batter, he's 0 for 3. There's a strike.
See some of the aggressive style of Ron Washington too, waving Markakis to the plate.
That one's back up the middle. Diving stop, Harrison. Mercer with a 360 spin and an incredible double play.
Holy smokes.
Away robbery takes the Braves out of the 8th inning. 3 runs across a 1-run game.
is brought to you by Delta Airlines and by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV.
We've got a ball game late in Pittsburgh now, 5-4 after the Braves pushed across 3 in the 8th inning. Could have been an even bigger frame, but the heroics up the middle by Harrison and Mercer ended the Atlanta inning.
I don't think Mercer could even see where he was throwing the ball. You know, he just was spinning pirouette, hoping he was aimed in the right direction. That was really spectacular.
Well, if he'd had his old glove, there's no way he would have made that
Not
play.
a chance. Took a new glove.
So the momentum for the moment in the Braves dugout. Let's see if Arodys Vizcaíno can keep it there. He's the new Braves pitcher. He'll face Andrew McCutchen, who's been on base 4 times today. Make it 5. McCutchen rips the first pitch of the inning into shallow left off the glove of Garcia. That's his 3rd hit of the game.
I mean to tell you, this guy is teeing off today on some fastballs. Almost undressed Garcia at 3rd base. Braves got within a run at 2-1 in the 5th inning and then promptly lost the momentum with back-to-back homers by Freese and Cervelli. They need to shut them down here and get the offense back up there in the 9th.
Yeah, hit batsman has scored for the Pirates. A leadoff walk has scored for the Pirates, and as you just said, the 2 homers. Here's Polanco. Gregory is 0 for 4 today. That's downstairs. Pittsburgh has a familiar name to Braves fans on their active roster. Phil Gosselin is now a Bucco, and he's on deck. Popped up. Dansby out. Darno in. Now over and back for the first out.
In, over, back, catch.
Yeah. Don't envy the outfielders today. Gray skies, the snow, the sleet, the rain.
Wind's still blowing hard out also.
So Phil Gosselin's going to hit for Freese, who had a home run and a chest burger today. Hope Freese is all right. That ball was creamed off the bat of Dansby Swanson earlier.
Gosselin did a nice job for Arizona last season.
Led all big league players with 20 pinch hits. The Pirates traded minor league pitcher Frank Duncan to the desert to get Phil to Pittsburgh. And he had a good spring. Just heard from the official score on that inning-ending double play bounced into by Garcia. Harrison might have been helped because they say Hudson actually tipped that ball on its way up the middle. So officially it's a 1-4-6-3 double play. But the result the same. Great play to end further damage. Nationals have extended their lead over the Phillies 4-0. That's Max Scherzer going to the post for the Nats today. It's Velasquez for the Phillies. Bryce Harper hit a 2-run homer in the first inning.
Otis may be having a bit of a hard time on grip because he's taking a lot of time between pitches.
Yeah, the Braves may need to borrow Yadi Molina's chest guard. See that play yesterday?
I did.
Pitched ball, bounced up, hit Molina square in the chest guard. He's searching around, couldn't find the ball, and it was stuck to his chest protector like it was Velcroed there.
Makes you wonder how that happened.
The Cardinals pitcher, Brett Cecil, didn't stick around to answer the questions. Molina said, I've never seen that happen before. Look. Then it dropped to his right there. Now, according to the rules, they say catchers are allowed to have pine tar and the like on their equipment. I didn't realize that until I read the story today.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
As it helps the catchers with the grip, but obviously pitchers, if they're found with a foreign substance, can be ejected from the game.
If the catchers can have it, makes it seem like it would be easy to distribute that to a baseball before you throw it back to a pitcher. But Cecil was unavailable.
He left before the reporters.
There was no stick 'em around for him.
There wasn't. Very good. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cardinals are home with Cincinnati tonight. Milwaukee hosts the Cubs. Cleveland's in Arizona. That'll be a good matchup. Arizona's off to a good start. So are the Indians. They thumped Texas in the first series of the year. Bid to get back to the World Series. And no chance for Suzuki on that one. McCutchen will move up. It is a wild pitch.
This guy cannot get a grip on the baseball. He's trying. He's cold. Ball must feel real slick to him.
Full count. Ground ball to short. Runner to third. Perfect throw to first. 2 men out.
Yeah, it was a pitch too late. The wild pitch got him to second to keep the double, get rid of the double play possibility.
Good day for Cervelli. He's walked, he's homered, and he's had 17 meetings on the mound. So he's got his quota for the series.
Maybe the best walk-up music of anybody in the National League.
There you go. Another grounder. And that will retire the side. Last chance for Atlanta. We head to the 9th inning. It's a 1-run game. Pittsburgh 5, Braves 4.
by authority of the Atlanta Braves and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves.
Game 2 of the series here tomorrow night. Hope you'll join us at 6:30 for Braves Live. Our broadcast will air on Fox Sports Southeast. R.A. Dickey will face Chad Kuhl.
And it will be cool, just not as cool as this. That's the forecast. It'll be in the maybe even as high as the 50s tomorrow. We'll hope so. Here's the aforementioned Tony Watson, who took over as the closer for the Pirates last year after Melanson was traded. Racked up 15 saves. He's been a very valuable guy as a setup man. 2014 he was 10-2 with a 163. 2015 he was 4-1 with a 191, and last year 2-5 as you saw with a 3.06 ERA. Hard sinker, good slider.
Josh Harrison moves to third base. Gosselin's at second. Watson, who's made more appearances than any other left-hander in the major leagues since the start of the 2012 season, will try to save the Pirates' first win of the year. Braves will have Suzuki, then Tyler Flowers, then Ender Inciarte here in the 9th inning. One ball, one strike.
It's a 9th round pick. The Pirates in 2007 out of the University of Nebraska.
Rolled foul at third. And a ball and 2 strikes. Good crowd today, 36,484 officially. And they deserve a lot of credit. It was nasty weather.
They were tailgating too.
Yeah. Yes,
they know how to do it in cold weather.
No. Suzuki hitting a back on a 1-2 count and represents the tying run. Thank you very much.
Tyler Flowers is coming to the plate. He was looking back in the dugout to see if maybe Jace Peterson would pinch hit to bunt him over, but right in the backside, boy, that was way off the mark. Ow. Tying run aboard.
Bet. A man that could hit the ball out of the ballpark and turn it around with one swing. Downstairs, ball one. Watson did not have a good spring. If you are to buy into his numbers, 8 earned runs in 5 1/3 innings, 4 walks.
Wow.
Swinging bunt. It's going to stay fair. There's only one play. That's as good as a bunt. Peterson at second, 1 out, and the top of the order. Ender Inciarte with an RBI hit today could tie it up in the 9th. Remember though, this Pirate outfield excellent. And all have good arms.
They do indeed. Ender, good against left-handed pitching. Typically aggressive early in the count.
4 runs, 10 hits for the Braves. They'd love one more here. Ground ball to second. Runner will be at third. There's out number 2. And the fate of the game rests on the shoulders of Dansby Swanson. Dansby an infield hit in the 8th. Freddie Freeman on deck. The Braves would love to bring him to the plate. Crowd on its feet in Pittsburgh. Pirates protecting a 5-4 lead.
Shading Swanson toward right. Don't expect him to pull the ball.
He's got to give himself up on anything in the dirt too. With the tying run 90 feet away, even count. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, and he's spraying it around a little bit.
Caught the corner.
Put it in play, put some pressure on the defense.
Fly ball well hit toward left, but that's going to be caught by Polanco, and the Pirates hang on and win their home opener by a final score of 5-4. Braves fall to 1-3 on the year. The Pirates 1-2. Game 2 of the season is coming your way here tomorrow night. R.A. Dickey and Chad Kuhl. We're going to warm up. We're going to join Jerome and Nick Green for Braves Live, presented by Xfinity, right after this.